I'm gonna get my ass in the house. Okay, I'm gonna come habit number 2. We're gonna work on punches, kicks, elbows, and knees. So, while I catch my breath, I will explain to you the purpose of some of the moves that I mentioned. Fist, elbows, knees, feet. In any order, in any concept of fighting. You need to be able to use everything you have, or else you need a weapon. It's one problem. If you're not good as what you are now, having a weapon is virtually not going to help you. Because if you don't know how to use your weapon and you come against somebody who's an ace, they're going to use your weapon. And they're going to use it on you. It's going to be real bad. Really bad. So, of course, if you know, you studied martial arts or you've taken some karate, day one, first one, horse stance, wider, deeper, wider, So, you get in your stance, back block, block. There's supposed to be some counter punches in there. This is the only block that I don't like. God, I hope I'm not staring at shit. Be a little late now after all that. I can smell it though. It's always something. Anyway, so you learned those blocks. Those blocks, when you get outside of the dojo, become these blocks. Block. So I don't even know why when you're in the dojo they even bother with these, but everything has its purpose. So they're not useless, but they're not as useful for me as they will be for some of you. I don't believe there's much martial arts that isn't useful. It's just depending on your situation, right? So, if you're doing Wing Chun and you're standing southpaw, so let's get this way so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. So, boom, that's your strike. Boom, that's your strike. This is your block and protect. This is also your block and protect. So if they're throwing a low angle left, boom, boom, right? If they're throwing a high angled right, it's to protect that. Okay? So your Kung Fu, block strike, your karate. Your karate, block counter. Understand? Block counter or block strike, whatever you want. Now for Kung Fu, it's the same motion. No wasted motion. When you're going to do Kung Fu or Wing Chun, and you're in your southpaw type stance, low, medium, high, alright? Now, as you learn martial arts, I'm going to be the first one to tell you, don't ground yourself in just one. Learn as many as you can. Take a little of every bit of it and make your own fighting system. I'm not saying make your own fighting style. Make your own fighting system that works for you. Because you can have Wing Chun, you can have Wushu, you can have Taekwondo. And that's me making fun of y'all. Because I no longer can get my legs up here. But, everything has something to offer. So you have to be able to willingly accept it. Now, my personal feelings on how you train is that if you are a black belt in Taekwondo, then you're a black belt in karate if I'm teaching you karate. Alright? A lot of martial artists just gave me the finger. Let me explain that to you who are martial artists. I'm 47. So when you were in Sperm City, just like when I was in Sperm City when Bruce Lee died, things change. So as showy as Wushu and Taekwondo has become, they still have a lot to offer. I love Wushu. I can no longer do Wushu, but I can still do Wing Chun. So you have to learn what's going to work for you in the situation that you are in. All right? And 30% of what you learn in the dojo is what's going to work. The other 70% is only going to work in the dojo. Only. Now again, I can't make you believe me, which is why 70% of the martial artists watching this just gave me the finger. But those 70% also don't live in the hood. They don't have to walk through the dark and worry about somebody jumping them. They don't have to worry about who they pissed off just by looking at them the other day. In case y'all can't tell, my skin tone is brown, which means even by other brown people, my ass will be going down if I'm not careful. Yes, black on black crime is a thing, but a white person going to a dojo versus a black person going to a dojo versus an Asian person going to the dojo, we're all going home to different things. Of course, the Asian person is actually going upstairs. No offense. The white person is going home to a fairly nicer neighborhood, unless they live in a trailer park, and then they're going to a place like I'm going, which is the hood. So I know what works, because I've been fighting in the streets since I was fucking 6 years old. You might be fighting in the dojo. Oh, tap, you got a point. You're going to win. Yeah, you're going to beat my ass with points every time. Every time. I'll be honest about it. You will whoop my ass when it comes to point karate. You will beat the shit out of me. Bip! Because I don't know how those rules work. You know, tap, up. You know, got a point. No problem. So now you have a belt. Okay? I got belt. Holds up my pants very well. But your sports karate, you're fighting someone who has a broken bottle. You're fighting somebody with a 2x4 with a nail in it. You're fighting somebody who doesn't give a damn about points. So for everybody who's tripping on people who don't have black belts but know martial arts, or who's not a UFC fighter but has been around the block a few times, I'm one of those guys. I don't need no belt to beat you. I've beaten black belts. Lots of them. So, is it me? Or did they miss a class? Or maybe I know a little bit more because fighting experience will teach you a lot more about what you can do and what you can't do versus, oh, I got a point. You know, okay, boom, I got a point. I got a point. Oh, I got a championship. Yay. Championship is a championship. It's great for fame. But when you get outside and you get fucked up by somebody who's not a champion, but has been in enough fights to know how to dance around one, it's a different ball game in the real world. It's a different ball game. I'm also a vet from the military, so I've learned a few shit. But what I did learn while I was in the military is that I knew more martial arts outside of the military versus inside the military. They taught us Taekwondo in the military. Yeah. Pop it out, pop it back. Switch sides, pop it out, pop it back. Okay? I learned Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Delta. I also learned the weaknesses of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Delta. Because you're going to come down, you're coming at me. Remember I said, fist, elbows, knees. Need I go on? For Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to work, you got to get my ass on the ground. You're not going to use Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu on me. You can try it, but you're coming down. How many ways can you get me to the ground? You got to sprawl to get me. And so when you sprawl, you get knee. You coming in this way, you're getting elbows in the spine. Why? Because I did say fist, elbows, knees, and feet. These are the things that you're going to use in a fight. I don't have a lot of upper body strength. I don't have a lot of lower body strength now. But I got this thing up here called the brain. And I have fighting experience, which will always be your number one teacher no matter how many times you go in the dojo. Horse stance. Wider, deeper, wider. Twist your knees. Go back up. Twist your knees. Oh, you disrespect the 13-year-old kid because he has a black belt. 20 push-ups on your knuckles. Okay, so I'm going to do 20 push-ups. But I promise you, that 13-year-old kid comes into my neighborhood, black belt or not, he's going home busted the fuck up. Because we fight in the hood. Period. All of this shit is good if you fight somebody who has no fighting experience. It's good if you're fighting somebody who can't lift their leg any higher than this. It's good if they don't have any range of motion. It's good if they've never been in a fight in their life. Now, they could get lucky and still whoop your ass. But you don't know what somebody's able to do until that first punch is thrown. Or that first kick is thrown. And if you haven't been taught how to read your opponent by, all right, he can kick yay so high by how he's standing. He can kick yay so high by his stride. That's going to be a short attack. Okay, this is going to be a long attack. You see, if you're not going to be able to read my moves, I got you. Versus, you can read my moves, short attack. So, if you see this short attack, you're going to lift up. So I can swing this way and miss. And when I'm swinging this way and missing, here's you, chambered out, boom. Taekwondo, kick to the gut. Understand how this shit works? 30% of what you know in the dojo works outside. The other 70% works inside. Then there's these things. Let's say this is a bow staff instead of a lightsaber. Okay? Boom, boom. You're not going to be doing that. You might do this. Pow, pow. You know, because you tell me when the hell you got into a fight and somebody's going to be stupid enough to allow you to do this shit. They're probably going to bull rush you. Or they're going to pull a Brandon Lee and throw their shirt at you. So when your shirt's caught up in the damn thing, you're going to get a fist in the mouth. Reality. Reality is really simple. Getting hit in the face, getting kicked in the face, getting elbowed in the face, getting kneed in the face, the shit fucking hurts. So it doesn't really matter what skill you know. It matters how many times you've had to use your shit to make sure that somebody doesn't fuck you up. Again, you're doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You're coming in. Boom, I got a knee. Let's say you get past the knee. So now you have me at the waist. You're about to throw me down on the ground. You're either going to body slam me or you're going to clip my foot. There's only so many ways you can get me down for your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to be effective. So if you're going to clip my foot, my elbows are coming into your back. I'm hitting you dead center in your spine. I'm going to make sure that if I'm going down, you're getting fucked up too. That way I can recover. So you're sprawled and you tackle me, boom. You can't protect your back while your head's tucked into my gut. And while your head's tucked there, I'm going to be elbowing the fuck out you because you're not getting me on that fucking ground. Period. But if you get me on the ground, my knees are going into your sternum. Somehow, some way, boom, 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 I am going to stop you from fighting your fight. You're going to fight my fight. Period. Which is another reason why 70% of you martial artists that are watching this right now are giving me the finger. You don't want to admit that I'm right, but you're giving me the finger. You're giving me the finger. No, that fucker doesn't know what he's talking about. That fucker doesn't know what he's talking about. This fucker's 47 years old. And every person that I've ever fought has been 5'11" or better. No one's been 5'6". They've always been taller than me. And I've always won. Now, there may be a day where some punk, lucky son of a bitch gets me. It's bound to happen. You know, I am almost 50. But it's only going to happen if they catch me when I'm, like, distracted by boobs. If I'm looking at chicks, yeah, you got me. I'm just going to take that ass whooping. It's going to happen. She's probably going to be naked, or it's going to be my crush. So, one way or another, it's going to be one of those things that's going to happen. Then you're going to get me. I'm going to have to take that loss. Simple as that. But you won't get me again. I promise you that. And when I see you again, if I can remember what the fuck you look like after you beat the fucking tar out of me and put another dick on my forehead, you know, I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to hurt you bad. Because you're going to remember that you had to take the bitch way out and sucker punch me while I was looking at titties. Which is kind of more my fault than your fault because I should have been looking at titties. But anyway, I'm also not the guy to go around running my mouth and starting shit. So I'm not worried about somebody literally coming up and trying to do something stupid to me because I don't bother anybody. I teach Kung Fu to those who want to know. I teach you the real shit. I don't take the time to sit here and say, let's do this. Let's stick with tradition. Because you have Kung Fu where you got your hand and you close on impact. They also do that in Wing Chun. Close on impact. I prefer to just do it this way. If I'm going to teach you Wing Chun and we're just like testing the waters or doing trapping hands or what the hell do they call it? Pak Sao, Sao Pao, whatever the fuck. I don't speak Chinese. Anyway, if we're just testing, boom, I keep my hands open so I can teach you proper technique. But when you get into a fight, I'm just going to tell you, swing for the fucking fences. Because when you start doing this and you forget that the fight is real, you're going to be in trouble. We don't want you in any trouble. So, training, this is fine. Real fight, keep them bitches close. But don't keep them so tight and try not to hit everybody with everything you got. You want to just tap them. You swing really hard, you might break your hand. This video is about hands, elbows, knees, and feet. There are dangerous things that can happen to you when you hit somebody with everything you got. These are very easy to break. Your hand is not one muscle, it's hundreds. Bone, excuse me. Your metacarpals form your hand. I forgot what your foot is called, but it's the same thing. It has carpals in it. That's why you get carpal tunnel syndrome. Da-da. So, when you hit somebody, you want to just tag them. You don't want to try to tag them as hard as you can. Sometimes, a good tag, depending on your target zone, throat, sternum, stops the breath, stops the fight. Simply put. Now, same thing with kicks. You gotta pick your targets. Pick your targets well. Kicking knees, boom, for a long Wing Chun. Kick knees, boom, step back, you want to do Taekwondo, regular karate, same kick. Kung Fu, same thing. All the kicks are relative, but your target zones are different depending on who's teaching you what. Guys running at you, bam, crescent kick. Now, the thing about that, I made another video earlier, it's already on YouTube. When you throw that crescent kick, you're putting them in the direction. And here's where your options are. Where I'm standing now, I got options. Back fist, run. Back fist, grab, knee. I got options. I'm going to tell you, if you're not a good fighter, guy comes at you, boom, you crescent kick him. Now you see where I'm at? Pivot, bam, get the fuck out. He who fights and runs away lives to fight another day. Okay? Might be a dick move, might be a cowardly move, but your life just got saved. Now let's say you're going to do the crescent kick this way, and you are a good fighter. So, inside to outside crescent kick, boom, he's here. Grab, boom, that's the closest knee. Let me get back in here. Grab, closest knee. Elbow, back fist. You knee him, catch him in the forehead, you're already holding him, boom, boom, boom. You just keep kneeing the shit out of him. And then if you want to be really nasty, when you knee him, bring him up. Or, you crescent kicked him, boom, bow. If you want to punch him, you punch him. If you want to do a wrestling move, grab him by the top of his neck, that's this part right here, slam him to the ground. No one is going to really be merciful unless it's like in a dojo. Out here, let me quote my favorite cartoon. I am Ramma Sao Tome of the Sao Tome School of Anything Goes Martial Arts. Because if you don't believe in the streets, anything goes, you have never been in a street fight. Simple as that. And you have to understand really fucking quickly how quickly the dynamics change fight to fight. You're practicing in a dojo, no one's trying to hurt you. Everybody's learning about themselves. You're learning what works for you. You're learning how to spar your partner. You're learning how to train with this person without giving them too much power and without giving them too little power. You're toe tapping. Boom, boom, boom. And if they want more pepper, they'll ask for it. And you'll comply. And you'll ask for it because it's a respect thing. Now, when you get out in the streets, no one's going to say, hit me harder, hit me harder, hit me harder. No. They're going to be like, please stop. And you're going to either comply and be nice, or you're going to just be brutal and just say, fuck it. Now, in a real fight, there's not going to be a lot of fucking talking. Not like I'm doing right now. Remember, fist, elbows, knees, feet. These things are usable for a reason. When you get into martial arts, alright, up until Thai fighting made its big boom, mid-80s, also brought on by Van Damme's Kickboxer, up until Thai fighting. Now, it was like a secret for everybody in America, but if you are Asian, then you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Thai fighting's been around for a long fucking time. So up until mid-80s, where they really started, there's off-centered kicks, up until then, nobody knew what the fuck Thai fighting was, except everybody in Asia and the reluctant military mercenary people who went there and learned this shit, i.e. Frank Dukes and others. Now, same thing with like capoeira. Most of America hadn't seen capoeira. They seen bits and pieces of it, But our big O of capoeira belongs to Mark Dacascos. Because his big American movie debut, he played a military man who did capoeira. Right? Now, if you want the dragon, this is like phase 2, just in case you don't know. Phase 1, phase 2. Alright? That's also Tiger. Tiger starts here. Phase 1, Tiger. Phase 2. It's right back in the dragon. Tiger and dragon are the yin and the yang of their kung fu world. Where you have snake, see the mouth, it's open. You have the crane, see the beak, it's closed. You have the mantis. You see where I'm going? You also have the eagle. You have the butterfly. You have a lot of different styles that you can cooperate together. The difference is, kicks are still kicks, punches are still punches. So you have to have target zones. Now back to Thai fighting. True Thai fighters, they generally start like this. And they're always on the balls of their feet, you know. But that also gives them the options for, boom, knee versus kick. Now, a Taekwondo kick slightly resembles that of a Muay Thai kick. This is the Muay Thai kick. This is the Taekwondo kick. Understand the difference. Taekwondo, you stop, pop it out, chamber it back down. Alright? So, here's karate. Foot down, step back. Let's try it again so that you all can see it on Instagram. Now step. Okay. Here's Kung Fu. Kick. No wasted motion. Did you not see it? Let's try it again. It's a jump kick to a side kick. Foot doesn't touch the ground. Karate, foot touches the ground. There are minor differences, and it also depends on who's teaching you what style. So we're going to snake. See the beak. Tip the crane. So the crane here. Snake here. Understand? Dragon. Tiger. Okay? So, tiger strike. Tiger strike. Back down to dragon. Dragon strike. Dragon strike. Why the difference? Tiger does not strike the gut, because tiger strikes aggressively without thinking. Dragon is wisdom. Gut is breath and chi. Gut, gut. Throat. Tiger. Top and then throat. Tiger likes to play with his food. Dragon likes to end the fight quickly. Dragon doesn't have all damn day. Wise dragon, angry tiger. Understand how that works? Or, how we say, crouching tiger, hidden dragon. Okay? So when you're learning these things, 20% of the things that the Sifus tell you are mostly based in legend and often change per sensei or Sifu or maestre. So, okay, let's do capoeira versus drunken master. Now, drunken master is a phenomenon, all right? Let me explain that. See, drunken master, you don't have to just sway. Your drunken master can be a drunken snake, a drunken crane. I did that wrong, by the way. Drunken snake, the beak should be open. It's the crane, the beak should be closed. So, it can be that. It can be a drunken mantis. It can be a drunken crane. A drunken dragon. That was a tiger, excuse me. Drunken dragon is down here. So you got this. Capoeira, really simple. Jinga high, jinga medium, jinga low. Somebody's smoking the hell out of some damn ganja out here. I don't do drugs. It's really bad for you. So capoeira, jinga, jinga, push. Jinga, jinga, push. You know, learn how to combat other martial arts. Now, my jinga, I put the crane in. Or, Daniel-san, paint the fence. Watch it carefully. Now, side to side. Drunken master, same goddamn thing. Drunken crane, drunken mantis, drunken tiger, drunken dragon, Drunken eagle. All same motion. Capoeira. Jinga high for no range of motion. So my range of motion. Jinga mead for the acrobatics. So I can throw a blanca and go here and then cartwheel kick. Jinga low. Push. Backflip kick. You know, understand, if you know what can combat certain martial arts, you're ahead of the game. I took capoeira, but I also took drunken master. Because capoeira, we got those 3 stages of jingas. Capoeira experts right now are all giving me the finger. Now, your drunken master is mostly animal styles, but it can also be Wing Chun. It can also be Wushu, because you can hit one of these numbers. Hit this way. Got your butterfly in. Now, capoeira, same concept. It was better when I was in my 20s. So, you get the gist. You will learn what style is easier to combat other styles. Understand how that works. Every martial artist, within the sound of my voice and the traveling of this video, loves elbows, forearms, and knees. So before I end this, we're going with knees now, because my hands are getting cold. So I have to hurry this the fuck up, unless I want to post this thing. So, when it comes down to your knees, if you're going to be using your knees, you need to be able to put your opponent in the position where your knees are the most effective. Now, before we go any further, I must give you a fair, honest warning. Unless it's a jumping knee, most knees are close quarter combat. Alright? So if you're in wrestling and you're doing a elbow collar tie-up thing, y'all know what I'm talking about. One hand here, one hand here. If you don't know, now you know. So with wrestling, boom! You know, now the other guy's gonna probably try to block the knee. But now he left himself open on this side because he used both hands. So he doesn't want to do that. He wants to have one hand up here and he wants to have one hand here. But in the event that he can't, he can use his knee to block the knee. Or he can use his elbow to stop the knee. If you're going to elbow somebody to stop their knee, you don't want your elbow to contact their knee. You want it to hit their femur. Alright? Because that also gives you the power to push that bitch back down. So you're elbowing them in the femur. Right there. Let me get closer. Right here in the femur. And the reason why that is depending on how strong they are, you may accidentally get hit the wrong way. But if you elbow them in the femur, the little pressure points and things here that do work, you know, you gotta hit them in the femur because it's an easier way to stop it versus trying to hit them in the knee. Now, if you're good and you hit them in the knee, good for you. I'm not gonna recommend it because you can also damage your elbow at the same time. But if you're both fucked up, then it's kind of a win-win because now he can't fuck you up. You can't fuck him up, but he can't fuck you up. Now, also, you have turning knees, which is also close quarter combat for the hug, the tie-up. When you see TIE fighters in a rope and all of a sudden their hips are looking like, my ass can't do that, but they're swiveling hips and they're boom, and they're boom, and it's a swift, while they're still tied up and they're targeting ribs, kidneys, liver, shit like that. This is why it's close quarters combat, because you're tied up. Now, if you're going to use knees in the streets, it's a whole different ballgame. You have to put this person in the position where you can actually use your fucking knee. You're not, again, unless you're like gonna jump through the air and knee them, which I don't recommend on your first move. I mean, you can get lucky. I don't see it happening, but you can get lucky. You know, they're coming, boom, you know, from the side, boom, you know, it can happen. Let's go left. You know, every martial artist loves knees and elbows. The problem is, sometimes your knees and elbows can work against you. So you have to know when to throw that damn thing. And instincts are good, but knowledge and skill is better. If your instincts are raw and they've been working for you, I'm not going to tell you not to do that shit. If your instincts are raw and they're not working for you, then it's time for you to switch up your game. Please tell me you heard what I said. Let me repeat it. If your instincts are raw and they're not working for you, change your game. If your instincts are raw and they're working, like your knee game is unstoppable, keep doing that. I'm not going to tell you to change your game. But be prepared, because one day, if it doesn't work for you, you'll need to adapt. All right? As all martial artists are giving me the finger, it's fine, it's great, I don't care. Adaptation. We're going to end it on that. Adaptation is henceforth probably the main thing you're ever going to learn in martial arts. And if you don't learn how to adapt, your ass is going to get clapped. All right? And not by a gun. Literally, someone's going to knock you the fuck out. So God throws a punch, and you block, and you break, and you slide. That's Kung Fu. God throws a punch, and you block on the inside, and you counter. That's Karate. Really small differences. Now, for Kung Fu, if you want to use a knee, and you break, it's the knee that's closest to your opponent. If you want to do Karate, it's the knee that's farthest away. But you need to know that they're not just going to let that shit happen. You know, it's not just going to be peaches and creams. These motherfuckers are going to try to hurt you. So you need to be able to adapt. If you throw a knee, and let's say by the grace of God, you're fighting Jesus, or some acrobatic little fucker that can like bust a flip when you're trying to knee them, and they somehow or another flip over in the air with a cartwheel and land on their feet. They're over here. And your knee has gone through. Your first move better be a back kick, because that's going to at least shorten the distance of him hurting you, giving you time to turn around to fight him. So we would look more like, I'm going to throw this knee and a back left kick. So he's flipped over the knee. So I'm over here. He's past me. I have two options. I can pivot this way, which would take too long, or I can launch that back kick. I'm going to tell you to go for the back kick, because you already can't see him. He's already got past you. So when you're here, you can go this way, because that's probably what your nature's going to do. Or you can throw that back kick in a direction you believe that he's in. And then you have a follow-through. So you're going to be able to have your follow-through. Because if you don't, you might get leveled. So let's review really quickly. Short strike and an elbow, or a forearm, whichever one's closer. Boom, boom. Same side, boom, boom. Okay? Push kick. Okay? Push kick. Jumping front kick. Jumping front kick. Now, from this area, sorry about that, he gets by you with the knee, you miss, he's over here, but you're in this position, you can throw that kick because you can still see him. But if you're in this position, you need to throw that kick because you can't see him. Understand what I was trying to describe? Now, let's say you go for a strike like this, and he dives over. Stop. Here, you can just shift your waist and you're back into a position where you can defend, versus stepping all the way around. Because if you have to do this to get back into a defensive position, you fucked up. Simple as that. You did a ridge strike, you're right here. Only thing you need to do is shift your weight. Adapt. Now, if you throw it and you're way over here, you put too much power into that thing, and it's thrown you off balance enough to where if he recovers faster, and he's here, and you're here, he's got you, and you're fucked. So again, you have to learn how to adapt in fights. You have to learn when to do short strikes. Boom. You know, you hit him in the gut. Boom. Boom. Your knee's right there. You know, boom. He comes over. Brutal, yes. Survival, yes. Boom. Boom. He might go down. He might stay down. But what I did at first, boom. 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 He's staying down. Versus, boom. Boom. You know, it's simple. It's nice. It's polite. He's down. But is he going to stay down? You know, you repeatedly beat the crap out of him. Yeah, he's going to stay down. And no, I probably should not be preaching that. But life on the streets is like that. You watch these videos on YouTube where you see street fighters. The guy has beaten the guy mercifully. You know, there's nothing left of the guy. He can't defend himself. Somebody's got to go add icing on the cake because they're a bitch. Gonna run up to him, kick the motherfucker while he's down. There's no honor in that shit. Which contradicts what I just did. It totally does. Because what I just said was, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, but that's a street fight. That's the difference maker. Now, as you've seen me do all that, you can just imagine hitting a person like that and doing really bad shit to them. Okay, well, here's the problem. I'm 5'3.5". Everybody's bigger than me. The bigger you are, the harder I have to hit you. It's not something that I'm proud of. It's something that I know must be done. Henceforth, adapting. If you're down with that first knee, or that first hit, if I hit you in the gut and you go down and you just drop, you're like, and you drop. I don't need to do anything else. You're done. But if I hit you and you take it and it does nothing, you better believe this knee is going to save my life. So, boom, it's because I don't want to get fucked up. Now, if you're on the receiving end of that, I'm sorry. But I'm pretty sure that if you wouldn't have tried to attack me in the first place, we could have been friends. But I'm 5'3". Let's make no mistake. I can't play with you. Let's also add the fact that I'm 47. I can't play with you young bucks. I gotta end that shit quick. And I gotta do as much damage as I can so when you come back around, you'll know I'm not gonna fuck with that guy. He made his point, he made his bid, he did the shit he said he was gonna do. I'm gonna leave him alone. And sometimes it only takes one good ass whipping for you to know your limit. I understand the only person that's ever beat my ass in my lifetime has been my older sister. And the reason for that is, and this is your joke of the day as I end this video. All the martial arts in the world ain't got shit on the fucking windmill. So, remember that. The windmill is a bad motherfucker. Thank you all for watching. This is Kung Fu Havoc number 2, BC and you. That's 30-something minutes of your life.